Hello. Hello, how are you doing? I'm pretty good, thank you. Just enjoying the weekend. Yes, I am. I will give you a reading if you give me a follow. Thank you so much. Okay. Hello, Blood Knight. How are you doing? Is this the fiance? You guys are a couple? I'm good, thanks. Aw. Well, welcome to both of you. Have you had have you had cards read for you before, Kylie? Is it key lime pie? I thought so when I got a closer look at it. I'm like, that's key lime pie. Okay, that's cute. Do you mind if I just call you Key for short? Is that okay? Thank you for the follow, Blood Knight. Well, I am happy to meet you, Key. Okay, well, um, what kind of a reading do you want? That'll help me decide which deck I want to use. Oh, I like the snakes. Thank you. Okay, well, it helps if you ask a question, and the more specific you can make your question, the more specific the the answer will be. Like if you just do something general, then the answer is going to be pretty general. You know what I mean? Um, Most of the time, really popular things that people like to ask about are, if they should make a change in their career, um, what's the best option, for, um, like should they save money or go on a vacation, that kind of thing. Um, it's really anything that you're interested in and that you don't, you're not afraid of getting an answer to. You bet. So while you think, I want you to think of your question. Make it an open-ended one. So we don't want like a yes, no, something that could be answered yes, no. So if you think of something and it would be a yes, no, try to think of a way that you can phrase it where it would be more information, more informative. It would tell you more. And if that's problematic, I'll help you through that. All right, well, let's just do something relatively simple since it's your first time and you're just kind of getting your feet wet. Um, how about something like, um, what do the next 3 months look like for me? It can be something kind of stretching along a timeline sort of thing, just to give you some information. Is this your first reading too, Blood Knight? Well, I'm happy to help. Welcome to the world of tarot cards. Is that your official question? So how is the new job going to go or affect your relationship? Okay, let's go with this deck. I'm going to write your question down so that if we go and the chat scrolls, I don't have to interrupt to go back to the scroll and read it, okay? Now, am I doing this reading kind of for both of you all at once, or am I reading specifically for one person? Do I like pigs? Okay. Um, they're okay. I don't have any. Uh, I think that they're very smart. Aw. Are they pretty smart? I've heard that they're really smart. And that, like some people have them as pets and everything. Yeah. I have cats. I'm boring. Well, okay. Okay, so I want you guys to kind of hold your question in your minds, kind of put some thought into it. And because I'm reading for two of you, I'm going to ask the first part of my shuffle question to Key and the second part of the shuffle question to Blood, okay? So this will kind of get both of you involved in the reading. Okay. Devin Blood Knight. Okay. Key and Devin. All right. So Key, this is number 1, number 2, number 3. I want you to choose a deck that we're going to work with. Two. Okay. All right. Devin, I want you to choose a number between 1 and 9 for me. 7. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the deck 7 times so it's like Devin shuffling it. So that's 1. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Let me think really quick of how we're going to spread these out. All right. Good job. That affect our relationship. Let's do okay. Camera's a little crooked, so I have to straighten these. All right. Oh, okay. Let's see. So these two cards kind of represent where you guys are both at right now. When we have an ace generally signifies new beginnings. Energy is just kind of like getting going and getting started. Wands also are very closely aligned to like an energy, a passion, a drive, determination, that kind of thing. Now it's reversed, which means that that's kind of been put on the back burner. So it feels like there's been this momentum to want to do things, to want to get things going, but it's kind of been sluggish, like it's a stop go kind of a thing. Um, since we're talking about a job, I think that what that is saying is that, you've wanted to move forward into a different role for a while, but it's been kind of like, maybe applying and not getting it, or applying it and going in and then not meeting the interview process, so it's like this whole stop start kind of a thing going on, but a lot of, interest in getting going. Um, there's also been, let's see, it looks kind of like you've had to sneak around a little bit to get this. Um, Maybe not telling everybody what you were going for. Maybe fibbing a little bit on your credentials, on your resume. Um, it's not that it's necessarily anything really bad. It's just there's this secrecy kind of covering all of this. Um, I'm kind of wondering if you've told people what your real motivation is in doing this, or if you've been honest with people about doing this, because there's just this kind of secrecy holding stuff back on that. Um, let's see. I think that you generally feel good about it, but you're uncertain. What I'm going to say as far as like advice going forward is that this shows a really, really good potential for you to grow and to get into doing what you want to do. And a little bit further down the line, I see this helping you to accomplish some bigger joy and goals and stuff. Lied saying that. Yeah, okay. So there's our deception part. Yeah, because there's definitely some sneaking around behind people's back about this. But as far as the job affecting your relationship goes, it looks like you're going to have some very positive outcomes with that. This job gives you a chance to kind of grow and develop and mature and gain skills that you weren't looking at, having previously. So it's going to be a push to make you fit into it. It's kind of like, you know, a feeling of, okay, am I okay with this? Am I going to do okay with this? I feel kind of like imposter syndrome, like I'm not really, what they're looking for. So you just have to step up. You just have to keep going, keep doing that. But then overall, it looks like that's going to be really positive for you. This is a celebration. This is like a party and stuff. So if you can push up that energy and keep that going, and don't fall behind in thinking that you can't do it. Build on the skills that you have, listen, pay attention, do the best that you can, and I see an overall positive outcome coming from that. As far as your environment surrounding that, you've got a lot of things back here that are really mixed up. So it's like I see a lot of uncertainty. I see new development. Are you guys new together? Like you haven't been together? I would say like a year or less. 10 months. Okay. Yeah. So this has got like a new relationship sort of a feel to it. Um, you've settled in, you feel good about it and everything, but it is still really new. So you're also kind of figuring out how each of you is going to support the other one, how you're going to, be in yourself and be there for the other person. And I feel like you're both trying to do that. Um, it looks like your job's going to require transportation or travel. Um, are you going to be like doing stuff from one place to another? Oh, yeah. That's what I would say this is coming from, and this is coming from. These are generally cards that show up when there's, a lot of heavy emotions, heavy mental load. Mm. Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't see really any support from family. So it's kind of like you're really kind of out there on your own doing this. Um, but yeah, does the job involve any kind of on the road travel, even just, business company truck, company car, something like that? I see a vehicle involved. Okay. That's definitely on track for you then. Um, it looks like if we gauge this throughout the next year, okay, and you stay with the company and stay with the job for about a year, I would say about 3 months in, there's going to be a big change. Um, it doesn't say what the change is going to be, but it's going to be if stuff's rough starting out, it's going to get better. If stuff starts out really, really good, it's going to get rough. So it's like an energy shift about 3 months in. So um, it's not saying that anything devastating is going to happen. It's just that there's going to be a change. Maybe the company is going to change management. Maybe they're going to, bring in a new department or something like that. But I would say about 3 months in, look for there to be a change that you need to be aware of. Have you heard news that they're looking to change stuff in a few months? Is that what's going on? Okay, so yeah, 3 months change. Okay. Um, so then yeah, so I'm doing this is within the first 3 months. This is 3 to 7 or 8 months, and this is 8 to the end of the year. Um, yeah. So stuff's going to change for you around that time. Um, if things are going rough, they're going to get better. If things are going good, it's going to get a little shaky, but you can get through it. And then I definitely see the travel, the vehicle thing happening. That's going to be, you know, eh, that's still looking like it can be within the year, but that's going to be a little farther out. It's really going to depend on how stuff goes here, if that makes sense. Okay. And then it also looks like um, this is a moving away. So I feel like you guys are not living exactly where you want to be, and the goal is to get out from where you are and do something better. So I see that as being like the ultimate goal is to step away, leave old stuff behind, get to a new position, a new like point of where you want to live. Okay. But yeah, overall looks really good. Get over the yeah. Get over the deception kind of feeling. Um it's not necessarily that you have to go back and tell people the truth. I mean, it's obviously not going to matter much now, but don't let that come back and bite you in the behind. You've got a lot of potential. Avoid imposter syndrome. Looks like an overall really positive outcome if you can keep this all together. Um, and then, yeah, you've just got the change and the transportation thing, and then looks like trying to work towards this goal. This one's going to be a little bit tricky because these things have to line up. So you want to really focus on what you've got going on there to reach that point. Okay. Oh, you guys are very welcome. I'm so glad. Excellent. I love to hear that. I love to hear that this, has kind of offered some clarity and, gives you an idea of what to go for and everything like that. Like the way that I look at tarot is it's kind of like if you are driving your car. Hi, Larissa. Oh, thank you. It is kind of like if you were driving your car and you always take the same route between home and work. Okay? So you always turn left at the same corner. You always take the same, highway. You always pass the same gas station, whatever it is. Okay? You always go on the same route. What the tarot is going to say is okay, right here is going to be a speed trap or a cop, and they're going to notice that you have a busted tail light. Okay? So the cards are going to tell you you have a busted tail light and you have a cop that's going to see you on the way to work. But you have the options to decide what you're going to do. It's like, okay, are you going to take a different route and, kind of avoid the whole thing? Are you going to get your tail light fixed and drive your normal way and go right past it? Or are you going to do nothing and the cop's going to pull you over and you get a ticket? So it's like you have the opportunity to decide what you're going to do with the information. This is just saying this is what it is. So watch out for these things. Does that make sense? That's awesome. I'm actually thinking about doing kind of like one night a week, maybe doing a couple of hours where I just kind of tutor or teach about tarot. So I've got a few people that are interested. If I can get like 5 people that are really, really interested, I'm going to start doing that. I've got like 1.5 so far. Is it a question that you want a reading for, or just a question about this, like about this situation? Okay. Yeah, since this one was kind of for Devin, we can do one for you. That's cool. Um, oh gosh, yeah, I know the feeling. Are they kind of like, no, no tarot, no astrology, no, none of this kind of a thing? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's that's really hard to live with. I'm pulling for you guys to be able to get out when you want to. Take your pigs, be happy. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick these up and we'll get started on one for you real quick, okay? Yes, yes, we can do that. So same deal. Give me a second to shuffle. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to write that down so that if we scroll up, I don't lose it. You're welcome. Okay. Same drill. Are we doing 1, 2, or 3? Okay. Now your number between 1 and 9. One, two, three, Ah, it's camera. My goodness. Because it's like my table is straight, so when I do the cards and I lay it like straight to my view, it's crooked on the camera. So weird. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate your patience. All right. Let's see. So we'll go here. All right. So when we look at what you can do to accept yourself, to be better, um, feel like you don't like yourself, um, these three cards kind of represent the unconscious. So this is stuff that you're dealing with that you don't want to be dealing with. Um, so this is the unconscious, the subconscious. This is stuff that's in the background. And what's in the center of that is rigidity, discipline, rules, structure. The Hierophants um, kind of says this, you know, you have to follow things in a particular way, do things in a particular order, follow the rules, stay in the lines, do this, do that, and everything. Outside of those, Star is kind of like hopes and dreams and this kind of just feeling of being released from everything and coming out of it. The Star is what happens after you've dealt with all of the difficulty and the mush and everything. Um, but this is reversed. So it's like it's not really being fulfilled from that. Um, yeah. Um, in terms of, health, medications, mental well being, and stuff, it's really a conflict between your own self awareness and intuition, who you know yourself to be, and then this underlying rigidity, kind of telling you what to do attitude. You've also got a this card generally represents smallness, kind of wanting to cling and hold on to everything and keep everything in. Um, so there's this conflict of wanting to be open and feeling closed off. And that drives a lot of the difficulty that you're having. So there's a lot of opposites happening here. You've got Priestess and Hierophant who are opposite of each other. Um, you've got Star and World, which are like a mirror of each other, but they're both reversed. They both want the same thing. This says that after a difficulty, you get to start over with a clean slate. This says that at the end of everything, this is how it's going to end up. The World is the last card in the major arcana before you start getting into the suits. So this is like the culmination of everything. This is where everything is going to build up to, and it's reversed. So it's like you're building, 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 and stuck. Um, so yeah, in terms of advice about, getting to feel better, um, start small. Start with branching out, um, with taking small steps, because you already want to be clingy and closed off and careful. Um, but this is the start of going out. This is, like I said, these are the unconscious, subconscious stuff you're not even really aware of dealing with. And what this wants to do is, this is a guy being cheered on. He's about to go out, start his journey, do these things. He's got the bright sun on his banner. He's like being cheered on by everybody. Beautiful. Everything's going well for him. So it's like this is the ultimate goal that you want to have. But you're going to have to do very small, careful steps. Take your time with it. But yeah, just work on chipping away at this, finding out how much of what you are made to think is how much you really think, so it's kind of like coming to terms with how you feel about things, and if something doesn't make sense, it's okay to question it and to figure out what you think about it and why you think that way, so it's like all this stuff being kind of force fed to you in this rigid structure, laws, rules, straight discipline and stuff from the Hierophant is just, it's getting in the way of going out and being who you want to be. So yeah, take small steps, get more in touch with your own intuition, be aware of yourself. I would suggest, are you familiar with journaling, like writing in a journal? Do you keep a journal or a diary? Excuse me. Perfect. Okay. So make a couple of journal entries, since you're already doing that. Build your journal. Yeah, yeah. Build your journal on writing a page that you just start with the words I am. Okay? Since that's what you're trying to discover. You start a journal page with I am. And then you just fill up the page with everything you can think of. I am young. I am a pig owner. I am everything. It can be completely random, but you just want everything on that page to be a true statement of I am. Okay? So this is you getting to know yourself. This is you getting familiar with how you identify who you are. And it's, and you just fill up the page. You just write until you can't think of anything more. I am happy when I sleep in. I am everything. Everything you can think of that follows I am. I am an animal lover. I am, a goofball. I am an introvert. I am an extrovert. Whatever it is. Okay? And you do the page that says I am as much as you can fill up. Okay? And you use that to look at who you are. And then the next entry that you do, okay, write these down so you know. So you're doing an I am entry, and then you're going to do an I believe entry. And you do the same thing. I believe people should be treated fairly. I believe, it's wrong to do this or it's wrong to do that. Whatever it is, you outline your beliefs and you figure out what you believe and you write that down. Okay, so that's part 2. And then the third thing is you go through the I am and the I believe, and you're going to put an X next to everything that you think happened or that affects you that didn't really come from you. So if you feel like it's an identification of you or a belief that you profess to have that didn't come from inside you, okay? So it came from your environment. It came from your teachers. It came from your friends. It came from something outside of you, okay? And you put an X, a little X next to everything on your list that you're like, I don't know if this is from me. I feel like this might be from my environment, from someone else, from, and that gives you a space to look at how you can question that, and figure it out. And once you have these steps to be able to figure out, who you are, what you believe, and these things that help you identify what's you and what's part of you but didn't come from you, and kind of work on gelling those parts of yourself together, I think that that'll help you feel better. I think that that'll help you grow. I think that, that'll alleviate a lot of the stress and the conflict that you're feeling. Oh, you're welcome, hon. Yay! Yay! Okay. So it's I am, I believe, and then you put little X's next to everything that you think didn't come from inside you. So you want to identify what's in you. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you came in tonight. Oh, yeah, it's been lovely. I'm so happy to meet you guys. Do you guys have channels on Twitch too? I can give you a follow back, or you just kind of have Twitch to hang out? I love that. I do that too. My husband and I both call it fooding them. We food our cats. Yeah, I'm very new to streaming. I think last night was my first stream. Tonight's only night two. Gotcha. Thank you. Well, since you guys followed, you'll get the little alert or whatever. Or see, like when I'm on again, you can come in and we'll chat or anything like that. Bye. Good night. Oh, I'm working on it. That's the goal. That is the goal, Devin. You guys take care. Give love to your piggies.
Any pizza with any Wallace family right here.